It's about 18 miles round the field. We'll see you at breakfast time. Agronomy duties abandoned for the day, but not as nice as it is to have James laid on a beach out of the way. Things go so much better. We're Monday, sometime in October. James is laid on I've actually got a picture which I might give to Tom. James is laid on a sunbed asleep as we speak. And we're actually getting on quite well with the drilling. We've got 5 of James's drills going as we speak, and I've got a friend here coming to help us out for a day or two just to get us nudged on a bit. So this is, well, brothers George and Ed Ward from God knows where, in Lincolnshire, Leadenham or somewhere like that. And they've come to help us out with their avatar. They've done a bit in Lincolnshire and now they're in Cambridgeshire. And actually, we're quite impressed with the drill. It copes with tricky conditions, as well as anything I've seen so far this year. And by God, conditions are tricky. Although we're not too bad at the moment. We've had 3 or 4 dry days. It's crusty on top, and we're making progress. So we're going to set George off here now. It's James' biggest field.
Don't let me forget to leave those 2
so
wheels.
give him something to chew on.
Split them, that's the best way to get
And
them.
we'll see how he gets on. This is more of a direct drill. Well, it's a direct drill capable of pretty much anything, isn't it? So
It is. That's why we bought it, because in theory it'll go in most, you know, cultivated, straight in.
We've certainly put you to a
Trash.
test. I'm doing it, James. I'm interrupting you. Carry on. You're obviously more interested than I am. So it doesn't do any cultivation. It's a little bit Certo-esque, but more aggressive.
Well, we don't want it to do any cultivation.
No,
do we?
no, absolutely not.
Because we want to leave that alone now.
Absolutely. And now you had a go at me for a previous video. I was saying I don't like the
yeah, and then I was
wide.
thinking about it and thinking, well, it is right. We do get some blackgrass in between there, but if we've not disturbed that middle bit with this drill,
no,
I think we'll find that we get less.
You see, I think that you know, James has been going absolutely hairless what he's got left, and because we've been panicking. Last year was terrible.
Yeah,
it was shocker.
And no one's forgotten that.
and of course, you have a wet time. We think we're not going to get dry again till next May. Yeah. Actually, if we can get this week and get drilled up, it's heaven sent for me, because we cultivated early. It rained, we've got a good blackgrass chit. It's held the sprayer off because we haven't been able to get on, so we sprayed it yesterday. We're drilling it today. Perfect. We're not moving the surface.
No. I mean, it does look like you've moved more than you perhaps have. I think it's a bit deceptive.
Yeah, Tom, just have a look at the finished surface with the camera. It does, but you really haven't moved a lot of the surface. No. Really, you're just putting the seed in, pressing it in. I will get a pre-em on this week. You know, hopefully it's putting the seed in well enough that it's covered it for the pre-em. It's going to have to for this field. You know, it's absolutely copybook. We're using a competitive variety. We're putting it on at a decent seed rate. We've had a hell of a kill with blackgrass kill, and it's going in nicely. We'll put a pre-em on, and you know, Michael's laugh will be easily till March.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. Anyway, that's making a nice job. One thing I will say about this drill, because we do no cultivations whatsoever. You're not taking, there's no eradication tine or anything, so you're not taking the wheeling of the tractor or the drill out. But I noticed that actually the tractor wheeling is next to nothing. The drill wheel itself is making an imprint.
Yeah.
But it's putting the seed into that wheeling, and you know, it sort of slightly makes me a little bit nervous seeing that, but I suppose that's what you get with that drill, and I've had no experience with them before, so
no, I mean, we are in probably the wettest
part of the field. You're right.
So yeah, it's a good place to look there.
Yeah. So as we, you know, it is actually dry on the foot, isn't it, up there?
It's putting most of that in, covering most of that up.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
We're in the worst, but we are in a really particularly bad patch. I think there was a beet heap here once, and
it's never got over.
Never gets over. We've got several of them around the farm.
I think it's
maybe what?
It's very hard to find with an Avatar. You will find that.
Yeah.
No, it probably is about right.
Well, I think
it might have been
right.
a bit too deep. No, that's probably.
We need to get there. I do need it covered on in the wheelings, so.
Well, you see, in theory, in a dry condition, you could put a lot more pressure on it. It would force them in.
Yeah.
Problem being, when it is wetter or less ideal,
yeah,
it would bung here because you're putting too much pressure on here.
Right.
It would be fine there, and it would drill that bit better.
Yeah. Okay. So
you can also they're set deeper.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is why it's doing a better job.
So you can actually set every coulter individually at its own depth. Yeah. That is quite an impressive thing. When he gets round, by about tea time, we'll get Tom to have a quick squint across the back of the drill. I mean, they're quite a popular drill, aren't they?
Oh, I hate to think how many they've sold this year.
Yeah. Nearly as many as time drills.
Well,
I think there were a lot of those went off the shelf in the last few weeks.
I've got rid of my time drill. I don't think it's the way to go. I think if it's that wet, you shouldn't be drilling.
Well, yeah.
If that won't drill it, for me, it's not worth drilling.
No. No, well, I think...
And that probably will let you go when you shouldn't be going.
No, I think you're right.
I think you have to be careful.
I think you're right. So, I've known George for quite some time, Ed. George being the driver of your machine.
I don't know if I've known you longer than
you probably have, yeah. But George and I have hunted quite extensively on horseback together, and I would struggle to have met more of a nutter on a horse. And
yes.
Hopefully slightly more sensible on a tractor.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I remember a day I jumped a hedge, and unbeknown to me, it was a big hedge, unbeknown to me, there was a decent sized ditch the other side of the hedge. And I had a spectacular dismount, and it was pretty awful, and it put anybody else off even considering it, except George.
Except George, yeah.
Who rode
I can imagine.
Who rode up to the side of the hedge where he could hear me, and he said, "Is it actually possible, Michael?" And of course, I just said yes.
Yeah. Did he
and he tried it, and he took it on and made it. And it was some obstacle.
Oh, good.
I'll never forget that day. I had a little stumble, didn't I? I'm all right though. I survived. I'm back up and running in one piece.
You were nearly in the dike.
I was nearly in the dike. Just want to get up here and have a look at it. If there's anywhere that's going to be a bit boggy for poor old whatever his name is, George, it'll be up here. I've sort of assumed James's role of driving about doing nothing today, haven't I? Well, it would appear that way anyway. I've actually been quite busy. Oh no, I didn't bet him. He said when we were negotiating over price, he said he wanted, if we got down here and it wouldn't drill, he wanted £1,000. And I sort of loosely agreed to it, thinking, holy cow, James would never agree to this. This is going to be very expensive if this doesn't work. Because obviously George is driven from, well, actually from the Lincolnshire farm, but he drove to the Lincolnshire farm from yours. Where actually are you?
Stragglethorpe on the A17 near Brantbury.
So he's driven from Stragglethorpe. It's a chuffing long way in a.
What
does it do on the road?
It's not ideal to be going that far. 20-ish, just over 20 mile an hour.
Oh, good grief!
Yeah, fairly steady.
Could have been worse.
Hence why I didn't set off for a couple of hours after he did, and I'm still here an hour before he was.
Anyway, hopefully he'll have enough to make it worth his while.
Well, we might stay down here with all these big fields. Life's easy down here. I could just do with some this side.
There's only one of them.
Yeah.
Sorry. No doubt I'll be getting cursed at by every other drillman on the farm because I've sent you here.
Yeah. Mind it, with a 6 metre it might seem a bit too big.
Yeah. Yes, you'd be a long time, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm just trying to pick holes in it, Tom, because we're going to have a renegotiation in a minute. So you've also got to point out the bad bits. No, it's doing a good job. I mean, this is just a different concept, isn't it, to me? You know, where the wheelings. Oh, actually, it is.
Yeah, you see, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
The majority is nicely under. Yeah, you've got a couple of bad bits, but
I was a bit concerned, Tom. If you know, you look in the wheelings and you can see odd bits of grain on top, and then you know, you start picking about, and it's a very small percentage compared to what's underneath.
yeah,
It's actually the wheelings.
see, that's
it's fine. The wheel. I was concerned that the wheeling was quite compact, and actually, when you dig about, it's not at all. But also, I was concerned about putting the pre-emergence herbicide on because because I could see one or two bits on the top. But actually, we're putting a good seed rate on, and it is really a very, very small percentage on top, and it is only in the wheelings, so I'm not worried.
And probably that seed that you can see on top is also flicking out rather than
you get that with
being
every
very,
drill.
Yeah.
You get that with every drill to a lesser extent, but.
It's a bugger to find.
I think it's actually doing a really good job. It'll be a different concept for James to see because of the. You see, I criticise our drill, the Sprinter, for having wide rows, but actually it is supposed to. Well, it does. They are quite wide apart, but it does sort of span the seed.
Yeah.
Whereas this it is leaving it in a very. So they're wide and it's leaving it in a line. So. It'll be a different concept for us because we haven't seen it. You know, we haven't had it on
visually
this farm
takes some
before.
getting used to as well. We last year drilling with a Sumo DTS, so similar to the Sprinter 5-inch band.
Yeah.
It soon fills the field up visually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you look at it come up this year. You think it's not as good, but
yeah, I'm less worried about the black grass coming in between the rows because we've had a hell of a chit already.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say though. The last 2 years we had really wet springs and I've had more blackgrass come in March.
Yeah.
You know, I go around January and January to do a really good assessment of how the blackgrass kills have been and they've generally been really good. All of a sudden in March you realise you've got a lot more blackgrass.
And a prime example of that is blackgrass coming in tram lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the amount of times you're going through, but it must be one of the latter ones that's given that final chip, mustn't it?
Yeah. So, you know, you get, I think, the people have been talking about us sort of breeding or breeding out the spring germinating blackgrass, and whether there's anything to that I don't know. There might be. Personally, I think we've had very peculiarly wet springs for the last 2 springs, and it's been heaven for blackgrass. It's suppressed the wheat. The wheat's hated it, not got away. The blackgrass loves it, and it sort of gets a head start. And you know, you think you've done a really good job, and all of a sudden you're going around at sort of growth stage 30, and you think actually it's not so great.
No.
Anyway.
Well, at least this is going well.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased with this. I'm pleased. Hopefully now it's blown off, our drills will be going better as well.
Yeah.
This will go in it.
I know, it needs to dry. But it's dry on top. The worst problem I'm having is those rear tyres on the back of the drill.
Right.
Because once it's in the cultivate, once it's ripped it up, it's getting the wet from underneath, it sticks to the tyre and it's just bunging up on the frame.
Right. Are you wanting an early night?
No, I'm not wanting an early night.
You look like you need one.
No.
I think everybody's getting a bit jaded.
No.
This time of year it gets tedious, doesn't it?
Well, the problem is it gets dark at 5 o'clock.
I hate it. I hate it. It's all right if you can go in, light the fire and draw the curtains. It's actually it has been doing a nice job.
I know. See, we had an electric tractor now, Mike. We just
Perfect.
up there in the field.
It is. It's just it's not great round this pylon, is it? But it's been tracked. No,
But that's not.
No, that isn't good enough.
No.
Has it only just started doing that?
Yeah, but it's all the way.
You caught a nasty shower, didn't you?
I know.
No. I think if you leave it an hour.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't need to sleep tonight, do you?
No, don't need sleep.
Okay. I mean, it's changing by the minute.
Yeah, it's dry. It is drying.
I don't really want to pull out of this field because tomorrow is not a good day.
No, right, okay, that's fine.
Like, it isn't going to get any better.
Right, okay.
So...
At least you've got the 2 best drills here anyway for the wet conditions.
It is a pig of a field at the best of times.
I know.
I've never known this field be particularly nicely drilled yet. And I think you'll get on better when we get to Haslingfield.
Yeah, right, okay. That's going quite well, is it? I know Glyn's going not too badly.
Glyn's doing really well. This hasn't stopped him. Mind you, he's got no trash, but I don't think that's making
No, the trash isn't making much of a difference.
And he's when he's finished at Harlton, he's going to nip into Haslingfield and try that before he comes home, just so we know what we're up against tomorrow.
That's fine.
It's not a bad day tomorrow. It's just it's going to be a bit squally,
yeah.
and you don't need a lot just to make it tacky on top.
But that, yeah, I need to try because I don't want any more of that.
No. Is the other drill? The other drill's slightly better than yours,
Slightly better, yeah.
Be nice to be laid on a beach, wouldn't it? Bless him.
Sun lounger.
But not as nice as it is to have James laid on a beach out of the way. Things go so much better.
It is dry.
It's changing. It's changing by the minute. You'll be off again. Graham might even be off again. But we've not had the rain down there. I mean, you've had
more rain here, yeah.
By the feels of it.
Well, we had 2 showers, small showers, and then we had 1 decent shower, which I presume has just caught us out here.
Right. This mustard's going off really well.
I know.
Sometimes it takes a bit of
But when was it sprayed off?
Not that long ago.
Right.
This is a bit more of a crude drill, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. You can see, his left wheel, and you can just...
Now, where's he putting the seed? It looks deep.
I don't think it's that deep.
Oh no, it's not too
Bloody
bad.
soft.
It's not. I think it's the eradicator. The trouble is, it's only 6 metres, isn't it? So, mind you, what are you on?
6.
Yours on. So there's so many wheelings, aren't there?
Yeah, it's actually not that deep. You look there. It is there.
No, it's not too bad, is it? Agronomy duties abandoned for the day. It's got dark. Glyn has done a fantastic job of this field. What is it, Glyn? 100 acres. Gone like a dream. It's the only drill that's gone really well today, other than George, of course, who seems to be able to walk on water. Done the whole field, and we've dropped in, and agronomy duties have become disaster rescue duties. Yeah, wet hole, got the crawler and the sprinter well and truly bogged in. We've got Glyn coming with another tractor to pull us out. It's when sense of humour's waned somewhat. Anyway, yes, we will see what we can do. Tom's the only one with a waterproof coat on, so we're going to wedge him underneath to get the strap on. And we'll be back in a few minutes, hopefully, with better news. So, yeah, that was easier than we thought, thank God. Came out quite easily, and of course, getting it out of the hole is only the first job. A lot of the pipe work on this drill go under the tank, and once it gets buried and you drag it out, you start pulling pipes off. So now we've got to check the drill over by torchlight to make sure that it's still functional, and then we'll try and finish the field, avoiding the hole. So as Mondays go, they don't get an awful lot worse. Over the weekend, obviously I've had a bit more to do with the farm while James has been away, and I do have a full-time job, and I spend obviously I've got commitments with other customers during the week, but I have spent all weekend here, and I've been doing the agronomy on the farm today. Over the weekend we've had a cracking time. We got rid of James, it dried up a bit, and we seem to get every drill going. We got here this morning with a head of steam, had a wonderful plan, and executed that plan until about 11 o'clock, and it started mizzling. I bet we didn't have a mill of rain, and what was going really well turned to just horrendous. The time drills are just tacky on top. The time drills just pulling slots and making a horrible job. Glyn's sprinter, we found the right field, and he's been going a dream until 5 o'clock tonight, and sank out of sight. We've pulled him out, and he is just finishing the field. What is it now, 6 o'clock at night, gone dark. I've made the executive decision that to send everybody home. Just, you can't operate in these conditions. Glyn's just having his last lap of this field. It's not worth going to start another field in the dark, and we're going to regroup in the morning, have a quick look round and see which drill will go where, hopefully, and with any luck we'll have a better day, and I'll send them off, and I'll skedaddle and do my day job, which at the moment seems very appealing. So yeah, one of those days. We'll put an end to it now, and hope for a better run. Gives for a better day, a better forecast for the week. Not that you can take much notice of forecast, but it does give a better forecast for the entire week now, so we can but hope. I made the mistake of telling James that we were all going well this morning, and of course it's gone terribly ever since. Anyway, here's to tomorrow. So I was proved wrong. Mondays do get worse. It's now 7 o'clock, an hour on from my last sign off, and Glyn's still doing his last round of the field. Yeah, of course he got quite stuck, and it's only the start of the problems, isn't it? Because now we've got blocked coulters, and yeah, unblocking coulters. He's done another 50 yards without stopping, so hopefully that's a promising sign. Yeah, some people do comment about why I spend so much time doing this sort of thing as the agronomist. Quite frankly, you know, agronomy isn't about just chucking chemicals about. I just have to have decent looking crops, and that starts from establishment. Establishment is the you know, that is the key to everything. If you get a crop in nicely and get a nice crop started, you're sailing all the way through. It's easy. I find that we spend more money on bad crops. You know, you think, oh, we've got a bad crop, we'll spend accordingly. It doesn't work like that. You know, a thinner crop seems to have more weed problems. They suffer from the same diseases. Arguably, a poor crop needs more nutrition. It just, you know, you have to get the crop established right to start with, and I will move heaven and earth to make sure that happens. So yes, I am an agronomist, but yeah, I am very heavily invested in the crops right from the start. Anyway, back to thinking about a better day tomorrow. Have a good night. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Afternoon everyone, it's the 29th of October, just about getting dark now. The clocks have changed. Had rain overnight, wondered if we'd get going today. Last night's antics were a bit hairy, to say the least. So Tom's bribed me with a cupcake this afternoon to do an upbeat video, so not to worry James. So yeah, we got a little bit stuck last night. Having drilled the whole field, it went really well. Knowing that there was a wet spot there which I'd crossed, I wasn't too fussed. However, when I come to do the headland, one side of the crawler went in, which I think Tom's got some pictures of. So I had absolutely no traction with the drill on, so I had to wait for Sandy to come down in one of the 1165s to pull me out, and it came out really easy. Then spent several hours this morning digging mud out and whatnot, checking the drill over, make sure I hadn't done any damage. The thing you got to watch on this, the fan housing that goes down to the pipes, the seed pipes, is very low on this machine. That's normally the first thing that gets wrecked, but no, we're all good. So we're up and drilling. I started drilling about midday, no, 12:30 this afternoon. It's going really nice on some ex-mustard land, which caused me some trouble the other day, just because the leaf was wet, wouldn't run through the rear wheels. But we're sitting here at 11.5k. I've had absolutely no issues so far, touch wood. So yeah, it's going well. We've got Sandy and Chris across the road now, hoping to get, we've got 5 fields down here. I'm now coming up to the end of the second field. Got one to my right, should hopefully get that done. Sandy is across the road in Bill Grain's big, and Chris is in the smaller part of that field. So if we get all this done tonight, we'll have had a good day after the start we had with the rain. Yeah, so basically, James, you don't need to worry because everything's fine, no damage done, drilling's going an absolute treat, the Sprinter is running like a dream, and this will be an amazing crop. When it comes to next harvest, you'll be thinking, yeah, that's proper. So on that note, thanks to everyone for watching and subscribing. I'm pretty sure James will be back for the next video, will he, Tom? Possibly back for the next video, and he'll answer any questions and that you've got that you've posted through. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.